Let us begin our discussion on dividend decisions, or you can say dividend policies also. Before starting with the topic, we will have a brief discussion on introductory part of this topic. So, as the subject which we are studying is financial management. So, financial management means management of your finances. Okay, financial management is what managing the finance of the company or individual. So broadly, you can classify it into two types. One is the corporate finance management, or you can make corporate finance, and another branch you can say is the personal finance. Okay, so corporate finance basically deals with the financial management of a business entities like capital budgeting. Okay, raising of funds issue. We have seen debenture, bonds, etc. All this will be corporate finance. Dividend decisions, it will be coming under corporate finance, because in corporate finance, it will be basically related to the business entities, how they have to manage their finance, from where they have to raise the fund, whether they have to make investment in the particular project or not. Okay, that capital budgeting, what is the risk involved in the decision making, etc., all will come under corporate finance. Okay, and another branch of finance is the personal finance, in which we will, in personal finance mainly we will be understanding about the individual financial management aspects. Okay, like investing in shares from an investor point of view. Okay, share trading, derivatives markets, etc. All that will be come under personal finance. Mutual, whether you have to invest in which mutual funds, etc. All this, which is related to the investment part from an individual investor point of view, that you can call it as personal finance. And corporate finance is basically concerned with the big decisions concerning the corporate entities like capital budgeting. Okay, issuing decision, whether to issue bonds, debentures, etc. All this thing will be coming under corporate finance. Whether to pay dividend or not pay dividend, that will be corporate finance. Okay, and personal finance will be basically related to the investments of an individual, how to manage their finance, which fund is good for investment, mutual fund, which scheme you have to select, whether you have to invest in equity share of a particular company or not, all that will come under personal finance. Derivatives, study of derivatives will be coming under personal finance. Okay, so be it corporate finance or personal finance, financial management is a process of making financial decisions. What is the concept or purpose of financial management? Financial management is a process of making financial decisions. How you manage your finance, how you make proper decisions about your finance, that is financial management. So, financial management is having three categories. One is the financing decision. Okay, from where the company will raise finance by issuing equity share or debt instruments, that is financing decisions. First will be the raising of finance. Second will be where to invest, that is investing decision. That basically is a capital budgeting from a company's point of view. Corporate finance, it is called as capital budgeting. Okay, whether to invest the fund in the project A or project B, that is capital budgeting. Okay, that is investment decision. And third decision financial management covers is a dividend decision, whether to pay dividend or not pay dividend. That is the three areas financial management is first is the financing decision, that is the raising of finance from the proper source, then investing that funds, and third decision is taking decision about dividends to the equity shareholders, that is whether to pay dividend or not pay dividend. Okay, now financing can be of two types, equity as well as debt instruments. Okay, this will be coming under financing decisions. Then investing decision will be capital budgeting. Dividend decision is the third function of financial management, which is the scope of this topic, that is dividend decision. In this topic, we will understand when it is recommended to pay dividend and when it is not recommended to pay dividend to the investors. That we will be studying in this topic. Okay. So basically, financial management is what process of making financial decisions, or in simple terms, you can say it is management of your finance, investment. From an individual point of view, it will be basically the managing the investment part. That is where you have to invest properly to get the proper returns. Okay. But from a company, corporate finance, it will be having financing decision, investment decision, and dividend decisions also. Okay, dividend decision, it is the most important area of management decisions. Okay, so a dividend decision is one of the most important area for a management to take decisions, whether to pay a dividend or not pay. If pay dividend, at what rate you have to pay dividend, etc. Because you know that equity instruments, there is no regular cash inflow will not be there. Like debt instruments, there will be regular cash inflows. Like in bond topic, we have seen if you invest in bonds or debentures or in preference shares, you will have a regular cash inflow from an investor point of view. From a company point of view, there should be regular cash outflow. Okay, if company is issuing bonds, debentures, or taking term loans from a bank, long-term loans, or it is going for a preference share capital issue, all this will come under debt instruments. Okay, so preference share capital is also classified in debt instruments. In equity, we will be having only equity instruments. So difference between debt instrument and equity instrument is that in debt instrument there will be regular cash flows will be involved, interest will be there, and there will be repayment of the principal amount. Okay, so as far as interest decisions, there will be no interest decision like concept, because interest you have to pay. It is an obligation on the company to pay interest to the bondholder, to debenture holder, to term loan taken from the banks, etc. Okay, it is an obligation, legal obligation to pay interest. So there will be no concept like interest decision, whether to pay interest or not pay interest. That is not the decision making area of the company, because it is obligatory. If you have taken loan from bank, you will have to pay interest. Okay, but as far as equity holders are concerned, they are treated as the owners of the country. It will give the ownership interest. So here you, as a company management, can take decision on dividends, whether to pay dividend or not. If yes, at what rate you have to pay, because dividends on equity are fluctuating. There is no fixed rate of dividend also. If 1 year company is paying 10%, other year it can pay 5% also. Unlike the debt, which is fixed at the time of entering into contract, what rate is fixed by the company, that will be continuously paid every year till the time it is received. So this is the case of debt instrument. But as far as equity is concerned, there is no fixed dividend concept applicable. It will be always fluctuating. Some year it may not be paid also. If profit is not sufficient, etc., then dividend need not be paid to the equity shareholders. So dividend decision has to be taken with utmost care by the management. Okay. So that's why we can say that dividend decision is one of the most important area of management decision. It is easy to understand but difficult to implement. Okay. For example, suppose a company, say X Limited, which is continuously paying dividend at a normal growth rate, earns huge profit this year. Very interesting case they have given. There is a company which is continuously paying dividend to its shareholders, equity shareholders, at a normal rate. Okay, like 10%, 15% normal rate, growth rate, earns a huge profit this year. So this year, company has earned some huge profits. Now, decision management has to take whether to pay dividend at the normal rate which they are paying or they can increase the rate. So this is the important question, and this is not an easy to decide. No, okay. So why this dilemma? Why this confusion will arise to the management? For that, we will have to go to the next paragraph. This says that the reason is that if management decides to pay higher dividend, then it might be possible that next year company will not achieve such growth rate, resulting in lower payment of dividend in comparison to the previous year. This also have to be taken in mind. If you are paying exceptionally high dividend one year and next year you are reducing, then there is a chance that shareholders may become little bit dissatisfied. So you have to take proper optimum decision. What will be the correct dividend decisions? Okay. Suppose every year you are paying 10%, 10%, 10%. Okay, there is a stability. So suddenly, if this year you pay 25% dividend because you earned a high profit, then again next year you come back to 10% or even little lesser, then it will be having an impact of dissatisfaction. So that's why the management will always be in a dilemma. What should be the rate of dividend, especially in exceptional years, etc. Because if management decides to pay higher dividend, then it might be possible that next year a company may pay lower dividend. No? Okay. So, however, if company decides to stay on normal rate of dividend, then surplus amount would be retained. There is other possibility also in higher profitability. If company decides to pay normal rate only, then they will be having surplus funds with them because the extra amount will be retained with them only. No? So that also they have to take care. Okay, because if extra amount is retained with the company only, it will be idle in the company. Suppose if no opportunity exists to utilize the funds. If opportunity is existing, then okay. But if the company has earned profit and there is no other opportunity also where to invest that fund. So for example, company is not having project at present. So it will have to retain the fund with themselves only. So this will result in over capitalization. Okay, and there will be opportunity cost loss also, no? Because fund is lying idle. Neither it is paid to the equity shareholders, nor it is used by the company for any project, etc. It is lying with the company only, which will result in over capitalization. Okay, so two conflicting situations are arising. See, if you pay higher dividend, then you have to take care that next year also you are trying to maintain it. That is one difficulty. And another difficulty is that if you are paying normal rate only, then if no opportunity exists to utilize the fund, then it will result in over capitalization and fund being idle. Okay. So this two conflicting decision you have to take care before properly taking the dividend decisions. For that, there are various mathematical models given by various experts that we will be understanding in our topic also. What should be the optimum dividend, that whether you have to pay dividend or not pay dividend, that we will understand by various mathematical models or theories given by different experts. Okay, so just now as we have told, there are few theories given by various persons which will explain the complexities involved in dividend decisions, whether a dividend has to be paid or not paid, etc. That we will understand while understanding this theory or mathematical models given by different persons, or you can say experts. So now let us discuss the meaning of dividend in brief. What is a dividend? Dividend is the profit after tax. Very important. Dividend is a part of profit after tax which is distributed to the shareholders. Okay. So profit before tax will be there. Then in that company will pay the tax, required tax. Then we will get the profit after tax. So from this profit after tax, company will pay the dividends to the shareholders. Okay, so what is a dividend? Dividend is that part of profit after tax which is distributed to the shareholders of the company. Now, two things can arise. Profit earned by the company can be used for paying dividend. This can be one use of that profit, or it can be retained for making further investments by the company. So always there is two possibilities which company can use. That is, they can distribute the profit after tax as dividend to the shareholders, or they can keep that profit with themselves and as a retained earning and invest in some good opportunities or in some projects, etc. Okay, this can be the, and there can be a middle way also, distribute some amount as dividend and retain some amount as with themselves. So that can also be possible. 100% they can distribute, or 100% they can retain with themselves, or there can be middle way, that is distribute some amount to equity shareholder and keep some amount with the company for investment opportunities or future purpose. So this can be the two uses of a profit after tax for a company point of view. Okay, either distribution of a dividend or it can be retained as for a future growth. One important thing is that dividend is declared as per the provisions given in the Companies Act. Okay, there is a process for declaring dividend. First, the board of directors will propose the dividend. Board of directors will propose the dividend. Okay, the rate of dividend will be proposed by the board of directors. Suppose board of directors is proposing 10% dividend this year for a particular year. This is known as proposal of dividend. Proposal of dividend. Then there will be AGM in which the shareholders will declare the dividend. Okay, so two things you have to understand from a legal point of view. Proposing of dividend will be made by the board of directors, and the declaring of the dividend will be made by the shareholders. And one important thing you have to remember, shareholders cannot increase the percentage decided by the board of directors. Okay, there is a restriction in Companies Act which says that shareholders may reduce the percentage, but they cannot increase the percentage. Okay, so whatever percentage board of directors have decided, that percentage cannot be increased by the shareholders in the AGM. Okay, deciding the percentage is fully authorized to the board of directors. Declaring dividend will be by shareholders. They may reduce the percentage, but they cannot increase the percentage. So this is the process of declaring dividend. Okay. So for today's class, we will be stopping here only. Further discussion on dividend policy we will continue in the next class.